That burning, frustrating sensation when you pee isn't just annoying, it's a warning. An enlarged prostate could quietly be taking control of your life, but there are natural ways to fight back, and what you're about to discover may change everything. It often starts subtly. A slightly longer trip to the bathroom, a bit of discomfort that you brush off as nothing. Then, gradually, that feeling of incomplete relief after urinating becomes a familiar annoyance. What once seemed like a natural part of your day turns into a constant source of worry and interruption. For millions of men, especially over the age of 50, this is more than a mild inconvenience. It's the early sign of an enlarged prostate, a condition medically known as benign prostatic hyperplasia, or BPH. Let's be clear about something. An enlarged prostate isn't inherently dangerous, but ignoring it can lead to complications that absolutely impact your quality of life. Sleep gets interrupted, daily activities get disrupted, intimacy can suffer. And worst of all, most people don't even realize how their everyday diet may be feeding the problem. Before we get to the foods that can actually help reduce this swelling, let's talk about what causes it. The prostate is a walnut-sized gland located just below the bladder. As men age, hormonal shifts, especially changes in testosterone and dihydrotestosterone, DHT, can cause the prostate to grow. When it enlarges, it can press against the urethra, making it difficult to urinate fully and freely. That's when you start feeling the urgency, the dribbling, the weak stream. It's frustrating, it's exhausting, and it can feel like there's no escape. But what if I told you that some of the very foods we eat every day, and I mean foods that are deeply rooted in North American culture, like processed meats, sugary snacks, and greasy fast food, may actually be accelerating this process? The inflammation these foods trigger in the body can quietly fuel prostate enlargement, creating a vicious cycle that's hard to break. And here's something that may surprise you. In a recent study, researchers found that men who followed a traditional Western diet high in red meat and low in vegetables had significantly more prostate-related issues than those who adopted more plant-based anti-inflammatory diets. That means what you choose to put on your plate today might be the deciding factor in how often you have to rush to the restroom tomorrow. Now, before we dive deeper into the foods that can help rather than harm, there's something else I want to make sure you hear clearly. This video is not just a list of ingredients. When it comes to your health, especially your prostate, the preparation method, the quantity, and the timing all play a massive role. Getting these wrong won't just reduce the benefits, it could actually backfire. That's why I'm urging you to stay with me until the end, because missing even one small detail could make all the difference. Also, I'll be sharing a powerful bonus tip at the end of this journey, a natural yet underutilized method to enhance the effects of the foods we'll be discussing. It's something most people overlook, but when used correctly, it can make a noticeable impact. But again, only if used the right way. You might be wondering, why is this such a big deal? It's just a little swelling, right? Here's the uncomfortable truth. If left unmanaged, an enlarged prostate can lead to urinary tract infections, bladder stones, and in rare cases, kidney damage. And no one wants to find themselves in an emergency room for something that could have been handled naturally, at home, through conscious dietary choices. The good news? Nature has given us incredible tools to fight back. But the key lies not just in knowing what to eat, but how and when to eat it. That's what we're going to unpack together. So ask yourself, are you willing to challenge what's been sitting in your pantry? Are you open to rethinking your habits, to give your body what it truly needs? Because what we're about to cover could help you not only relieve discomfort, but restore your confidence and energy in ways you might not have felt in years. One of the most common mistakes people make is treating symptoms without addressing the root. Medication might ease the urgency temporarily, but unless you remove the fuel feeding the fire, it's going to come back, often stronger than before. And this isn't just about removing bad foods. It's about actively nourishing your body with what helps it heal. That's why in the next section, we'll begin exploring the first of 4 powerful foods that have been scientifically shown to reduce inflammation and support prostate health. What makes this first food so effective isn't just its nutritional profile, it's how it interacts with your body's hormone balance, how it helps regulate cell growth, and most importantly, how it can be transformed through simple cooking techniques to unlock even more potency. But don't rush ahead just yet. There's a reason we're taking this step by step, because when it comes to your health, every detail matters. And the next food we're about to explore is one that you probably already have in your kitchen, but you've likely been using it the wrong way. And ignoring this next tip doesn't just mean missing out on results. It could mean putting your body through unnecessary strain that's entirely avoidable. Stay with me. It might sound surprising, but what you eat at dinner could be quietly influencing your prostate health in ways you've never imagined. While that juicy cheeseburger or extra slice of pepperoni pizza may feel comforting after a long day, these very choices could be setting the stage for inflammation, the underlying factor behind much of the swelling and discomfort men experience as they age. Today, we go deeper into how common meals in the American diet might be slowly working against your body's balance, and how small strategic changes can reverse that process. Let's start with a concept that's simple but often overlooked: inflammation. Not the kind you get from a sprained ankle, but the chronic low-grade inflammation that builds over time from the foods we eat, the stress we carry, and the sleep we miss. This kind of internal irritation silently taxes our systems, and the prostate, being a hormonally sensitive gland, is particularly vulnerable to it. So, what's on the menu that's fueling the problem? Foods high in saturated fats, like bacon, sausages, fried chicken, and processed cheeses, are everywhere in the standard American diet. Add in sugary sodas, white bread, and deep-fried snacks, and you have a recipe for chronic inflammation. These items can increase levels of oxidative stress in the body, reduce antioxidant defenses, and promote tissue swelling, all of which can directly affect prostate size and urinary function. But here's the twist. While these foods are problematic, they're also deeply ingrained in our daily lives. That's what makes change difficult. Many of us grew up with these flavors. They're connected to family traditions, comfort, and convenience. Still, understanding their impact is the first step toward reclaiming your health without feeling deprived. Let's look at what the research says. In one long-term observational study involving thousands of men, researchers found that those who regularly consumed diets rich in processed meat and low in vegetables had significantly higher rates of urinary retention and nighttime urination. That means the more often you say yes to greasy takeout and no to leafy greens, the more likely you are to struggle with prostate-related symptoms down the line. Now here's where it gets even more interesting. There's a specific type of fat, called trans fat, that's found in many packaged snacks, frozen pizzas, and baked goods. Though many companies have reduced their use of trans fats in recent years, they haven't disappeared completely. These fats are especially harmful because they interfere with hormone signaling and cellular repair mechanisms. Translation: they make it harder for your body to heal and easier for inflammation to take hold. And this isn't just about avoiding the worst offenders. It's about replacing them with powerful allies, foods that actively soothe the body, balance hormones, and shrink inflammation. Think of it like upgrading your internal environment, clearing away the clutter and letting the body function the way it was designed to. But before we start swapping burgers for broccoli, let's consider a realistic approach. Change doesn't have to mean sacrifice. Small shifts can add up. For example, trading out a side of fries for roasted sweet potatoes, choosing grilled chicken over breaded, or incorporating anti-inflammatory herbs like turmeric and garlic into your meals. These aren't just token gestures. They're the beginning of a transformation that can lead to noticeable improvements in urinary comfort and overall vitality. There's also a cultural piece to this puzzle. In North America, we tend to rush our meals, eat in front of screens, and rely heavily on convenience foods. Slowing down, preparing simple whole food meals at home, and being mindful of what we put on our plates can be a radical act of self-care. And the benefits extend beyond the prostate. They touch every system in the body. Let's not ignore beverages either. Sugar-sweetened drinks, especially soda and energy drinks, spike insulin and fuel inflammatory responses. On the other hand, water infused with lemon, green tea, and unsweetened pomegranate juice can support detoxification and improve blood flow in the pelvic region, helping ease pressure on the prostate. There's one more detail that's often missed in conversations about diet and prostate health: frequency and portion size. Overeating, even healthy foods, can lead to metabolic imbalance. Spacing meals properly, eating slowly, and stopping before you feel overly full gives your digestive and hormonal systems time to recalibrate. It's not just about what you eat, but how you eat it. So, let's connect the dots. If you've been dealing with frequent nighttime bathroom trips, lingering discomfort, or a weak urinary stream, your dinner plate might be a bigger factor than you realized. The encouraging news is that you have far more control over this than you've been told. You don't need to wait for prescriptions or procedures to start feeling better. And yes, we're just getting started. Because the next food we're about to introduce is more than just helpful. It's backed by scientific research and can reduce prostate inflammation significantly when used correctly. But here's the catch. Most people use it the wrong way. And doing so can not only cancel out the benefits but potentially cause more harm than good. That's why what comes next is one of the most important steps in this journey. Missing it might not just slow your progress, it could actually set you back. Let's make sure you're getting it right from the start. So far, we've explored how everyday dietary habits, especially those rooted in the modern Western lifestyle, can quietly undermine your prostate health. We've looked at the foods that fuel inflammation, hormonal imbalance, and chronic discomfort. But now we pivot, because knowing what to avoid is only half the equation. The real breakthrough happens when you start introducing the right foods, the natural allies that not only reduce swelling but support long-term hormonal balance and urinary comfort. Let's talk about one such food. It's vibrant, it's accessible, and it might already be sitting in your kitchen. Yes, I'm talking about tomatoes. But not just any tomato, and not in any form. This humble fruit contains a powerful compound called lycopene, a carotenoid that has been extensively studied for its antioxidant and anti-inflammatory effects. But the catch? Lycopene is far more bioavailable, meaning more easily absorbed by the body, when tomatoes are cooked and paired with healthy fats like olive oil. This is why that homemade tomato sauce you thought was just comfort food could actually be a powerful health tonic. When tomatoes are simmered and blended into a sauce, their cell walls break down, releasing more lycopene. And when that sauce is mixed with a drizzle of extra virgin olive oil, you enhance the absorption of this nutrient significantly. It's a simple preparation method, but it transforms the nutritional value completely. Research from institutions like the Harvard School of Public Health has shown that higher intake of lycopene is associated with reduced risk of prostate enlargement and even lower rates of prostate cancer in some populations. While we're not making medical claims, it's clear that there's something extraordinary about this compound and its interaction with prostate tissue. Now, you might be wondering, why do cooked tomatoes have such a dramatic effect? It comes down to inflammation and oxidative stress, two processes that play a central role in the development of BPH. Lycopene helps by neutralizing free radicals, reducing inflammatory markers, and modulating hormone activity. That's a triple threat against the very mechanisms driving prostate swelling. But here's something most people don't realize. Not all tomato products are created equal. Canned tomatoes often contain added sodium and preservatives that may counteract the benefits. Ketchup, despite its tomato base, is usually loaded with sugar and artificial additives. The goal here is not just to consume tomatoes, but to do so intentionally, ideally by preparing a fresh sauce at home using organic tomatoes, garlic, and olive oil. Add some oregano or basil for extra flavor and even more anti-inflammatory properties. Beyond the sauce, you can also enjoy the benefits of lycopene through tomato-based soups, stews, or even roasted cherry tomatoes as a side dish. The key is consistent, moderate consumption. 1 or 2 servings several times a week can make a real difference, especially when combined with other supportive lifestyle choices. And let's not forget the cultural element. In Mediterranean countries, where tomato consumption is high, and meals are often shared and savored slowly, rates of prostate disorders tend to be lower. Of course, many factors are at play, including physical activity and lower stress levels, but diet remains a cornerstone. Bringing some of those traditions into your routine can help you slow down, nourish your body more thoughtfully, and connect your food choices with your health goals. Let's consider how to apply this today. Start by making a simple tomato sauce at home. Dice a few ripe tomatoes, sauté them in olive oil with chopped garlic and onions, and let them simmer for at least 20 minutes. Store in the fridge and use throughout the week with whole grains, vegetables, or lean proteins. It's not only delicious, but also incredibly supportive of your prostate. Consistency is crucial. A single serving won't change much, but making it a staple in your diet can gradually reduce the frequency of those frustrating nighttime bathroom trips and restore a sense of ease to your daily routine. Now, a quick note on supplementation. Some people consider taking lycopene capsules instead of eating tomatoes. While supplements can be helpful in certain cases, they don't offer the same synergy as whole foods. Lycopene works best in combination with the natural fibers, oils, and enzymes found in real food. Plus, eating whole foods gives you a range of other nutrients that support immune function and metabolic health. This is the heart of our approach. Natural, sustainable strategies that fit into your real life. You don't need to give up everything you love or follow a rigid protocol. You simply need to make smarter choices, more often. And in the case of tomatoes, that might mean transforming a simple meal into a form of daily medicine. And just when you thought you knew everything about prostate-friendly foods, there's another underappreciated gem that deserves your attention. It's tiny, often overlooked, and yet holds a concentrated dose of nutrients essential for hormonal health and urinary relief. Ignoring what comes next would mean missing out on a food that could offer even more powerful benefits than lycopene. especially when consumed in a specific form that most people don't even consider. And not using it correctly? That could lead to disappointing results, or worse, unintended side effects. Let's make sure you use this next food the right way, because done properly, it can take your progress to the next level. Let's take a closer look at that often overlooked nutritional gem mentioned earlier, a tiny seed that carries immense power when it comes to prostate health. Found in many kitchens but rarely appreciated for its medicinal value, pumpkin seeds are more than just a seasonal snack. When prepared and consumed properly, they can offer substantial relief from the symptoms of an enlarged prostate and help restore a more balanced, healthy function to the entire urinary system. Pumpkin seeds are packed with zinc, a mineral that plays a crucial role in male hormone regulation and prostate function. In fact, the prostate contains more zinc than any other organ in the body. But here's the catch. Modern diets are often lacking in zinc, especially in bioavailable forms. This deficiency can silently weaken your body's ability to control inflammation, produce hormones efficiently, and regenerate healthy tissue. Beyond zinc, pumpkin seeds also contain phytosterols, plant-based compounds that mimic cholesterol and help block its absorption in the intestine. But that's not their only function. Phytosterols have been shown in some studies to reduce prostate swelling and improve urinary flow by modulating DHT levels, the same hormone responsible for prostate enlargement. This is a big deal. It means these little seeds can offer support from multiple angles: anti-inflammatory, hormonal, and circulatory. But preparation matters. One of the most common mistakes people make is grabbing a bag of heavily salted roasted pumpkin seeds from the grocery store and assuming they're getting all the benefits. Unfortunately, high temperatures from commercial roasting can destroy some of the delicate oils and reduce the potency of phytosterols. Added salt and flavorings, while tasty, also counteract the anti-inflammatory potential of the seed. For best results, opt for raw, organic pumpkin seeds, sometimes labeled as pepitas. Lightly toasting them at home on a low heat for a few minutes can bring out their flavor without compromising their nutritional value. You can also grind them into a powder and add to smoothies, oatmeal, or even sprinkle over salads. This ensures better absorption and lets you integrate them into your diet more easily. Another lesser-known trick: soak the seeds overnight in filtered water. This not only softens them, but also removes natural compounds called phytates, which can inhibit mineral absorption. By soaking and drying your seeds, you're essentially unlocking more of their nutritional value, making each handful more impactful. How much should you consume? Most research points to about 1 to 2 tablespoons per day as an effective dose for supporting prostate health. Consistency is more important than volume. Incorporate them into your daily routine in a way that feels natural, and your body will thank you over time. Let's not overlook another benefit: magnesium. Pumpkin seeds are one of the richest natural sources of this mineral, which supports muscle relaxation, nerve function, and, crucially, bladder control. Many men dealing with frequent urination or urgency don't realize that a magnesium deficiency may be compounding their symptoms. By adding pumpkin seeds to your diet, you're addressing not just the prostate, but also the surrounding systems that influence how it behaves. And if you're wondering whether these benefits are backed by evidence, the answer is yes. In a European study involving men with mild to moderate BPH, those who consumed pumpkin seed extract daily for several months experienced a significant reduction in symptoms, including fewer nighttime trips to the bathroom and improved urinary flow. While whole seeds aren't exactly the same as concentrated extracts, they carry many of the same active compounds, without the need for synthetic processing. You may also want to combine pumpkin seeds with other supportive foods, like those rich in omega-3 fatty acids, to amplify the anti-inflammatory effects. A handful of walnuts or a serving of flaxseed can complement the benefits, giving your body the resources it needs to restore balance more efficiently. One important note: while pumpkin seeds are generally safe for most people, consuming them in large amounts, especially if roasted and salted, can lead to digestive discomfort or increased sodium intake. That's why preparation and moderation are essential. Done right, these seeds become not just a snack, but a functional part of your wellness plan. It's these kinds of natural, manageable steps that can bring lasting relief and even help reverse some of the patterns that led to discomfort in the first place. You don't need to overhaul your entire lifestyle overnight, but a commitment to small, consistent changes will add up. Now, the next discovery on our list is perhaps the most surprising of all. It involves a powerful duo: 2 natural foods that, when combined, have shown effects even greater than some over-the-counter solutions. But here's the key: the sequence, timing, and method of consumption make all the difference. If done incorrectly, it can result in minimal improvement or even interfere with your body's natural rhythm. So make sure you're ready to apply this next insight carefully, because getting it wrong could slow your recovery, while getting it right might just unlock a level of relief and control you haven't felt in years. After discovering the healing potential of pumpkin seeds and how their nutrients can directly support prostate health, the next step in this journey brings us to an even more dynamic solution, a duo of natural ingredients that, when used together, create a compounding effect. These two foods work in tandem to reduce inflammation, promote circulation, and help restore hormonal balance. And unlike some conventional treatments, they do this gently and gradually, without harsh side effects. Yet, despite their potency, many people either overlook them entirely or use them in ways that blunt their true impact. Let's begin with the first half of this powerful pair, green tea. Revered for centuries across various cultures, particularly in Asia, green tea is more than a comforting beverage. It's a concentrated source of catechins, a group of plant compounds that offer profound anti-inflammatory and antioxidant effects. One specific catechin, epigallocatechin galat, EGCG, has been studied for its ability to inhibit the growth of abnormal cells and reduce markers of oxidative stress. For men dealing with prostate swelling, this is key. Oxidative stress plays a major role in tissue damage and inflammation, particularly in hormonally sensitive organs like the prostate. By neutralizing free radicals and calming systemic inflammation, green tea supports not only prostate health, but also cardiovascular and metabolic functions, which are often interlinked. However, there's an important caveat. Timing and preparation matter. Drinking green tea on an empty stomach can cause gastrointestinal irritation for some individuals, and using boiling water can destroy some of its most delicate nutrients. The optimal approach is to steep high-quality loose-leaf green tea in hot, but not boiling water, around 160-180 degrees or 70-80 degrees for about 2 to 3 minutes. Drink it between meals for better absorption and reduced risk of discomfort. Now let's introduce its partner in healing, pomegranate. This vibrant fruit, often enjoyed as juice or eaten fresh, is rich in polyphenols, particularly punicolagens and ellagic acid, which have been shown to reduce oxidative damage, support blood flow, and regulate hormone activity. In fact, some preliminary studies suggest that regular pomegranate intake may help lower PSA levels and slow the progression of prostate concerns in certain individuals. The real magic happens when these two foods are used together. Green tea and pomegranate each target different inflammatory pathways. Green tea modulates cytokines and antioxidant activity in the bloodstream, while pomegranate enhances nitric oxide levels, improving circulation and reducing stiffness in pelvic blood vessels. Combined, they create an environment that allows the prostate to function more naturally and with less irritation. So how should you combine them? Start with a morning or afternoon routine. Brew a cup of green tea and pair it with a small glass, about 4 ounces, of unsweetened pomegranate juice. This timing not only helps with absorption, but also provides a natural energy lift without the crash of coffee or sugary beverages. If you prefer whole fruit, pomegranate seeds can be sprinkled into yogurt or oatmeal alongside your tea. Here's another tip. Avoid bottled teas or commercial pomegranate juices that are loaded with sugar and preservatives. These additives can promote inflammation and undermine the very benefits you're aiming for. Look for cold-pressed organic juices or prepare them fresh at home. Yes, it's a little extra work, but the health dividends are well worth it. Beyond their direct impact on the prostate, both green tea and pomegranate offer systemic benefits. They support heart health, improve brain function, and even help with weight management by enhancing metabolic flexibility. And since metabolic syndrome is often a contributor to prostate issues, tackling it from multiple angles is one of the smartest strategies you can take. Let's also talk briefly about a lesser-known aspect, hormone balance. Both green tea and pomegranate have subtle effects on estrogen and testosterone metabolism. While they don't act as hormone replacements, they support the body's natural rhythm, reducing the conversion of testosterone to DHT, the hormone most closely linked to prostate enlargement. That makes this combination not just anti-inflammatory, but hormonally intelligent. As always, consistency is critical. Drinking green tea once a week or enjoying a pomegranate on holidays won't create lasting change. What matters is regularity, making these foods a part of your weekly rhythm, just like brushing your teeth or stretching in the morning. There is one caution worth repeating: moderation. Too much green tea, especially in supplement form, can affect liver enzymes or interact with certain medications. Likewise, excessive pomegranate intake can influence blood pressure and interfere with some heart medications. That's why natural doesn't mean risk-free. Used wisely and in the right proportions, however, they offer a powerful pathway to relief. And there's one final piece to this puzzle that ties everything together: a way to prepare and combine the foods we've discussed: tomato, pumpkin seed, green tea, and pomegranate, to maximize their absorption and healing potential. It's a strategy that aligns timing, preparation, and ingredient synergy to amplify results naturally. But it's also the most misunderstood. Many people skip this step, thinking it's optional. But skipping it doesn't just weaken the benefits. It can create digestive stress, reduce nutrient uptake, or even cause the body to resist the healing process altogether. So if you're truly committed to turning the tide on prostate discomfort and restoring balance to your body, this next insight may be the one that unlocks it all. After exploring the remarkable synergy between green tea and pomegranate, and learning how their combined power targets inflammation and hormonal imbalance, it's time to bring all these insights into one unified approach. Because knowing which foods help is one thing, using them together in the right way is another. This final step could be the key to unlocking deeper, more sustainable relief from prostate discomfort. Let's begin by addressing a crucial truth. Not all nutrients work optimally in isolation. Just like instruments in an orchestra, the timing and harmony of these healing foods determine the final result. So what does that look like in practical terms? It begins with how you start your day. Upon waking, your body is in a fasted state, highly receptive to nutrients, but also sensitive to stimulation. That's why we begin with a gentle combination: a cup of warm green tea and a small bowl of oatmeal topped with ground pumpkin seeds and a few fresh pomegranate seeds. This pairing works on multiple levels. The green tea energizes without overstimulating, while the oatmeal provides soluble fiber that helps manage blood sugar, another critical factor in prostate and metabolic health. The pumpkin seeds deliver zinc and phytosterols in a form that's easily digested alongside fats from flax or chia if you choose to add them. The pomegranate brings in antioxidants and a sweet, refreshing flavor that complements the earthiness of the seeds. Timing matters here. Eating too fast or combining too many heavy items early in the day can blunt digestion and overwhelm your system. Give yourself time. Chew slowly. Let your body absorb the nutrients fully. Midday, you might consider a light lunch with a Mediterranean twist. Think grilled vegetables, chickpeas, or lentils paired with a tomato-based sauce made from fresh, simmered tomatoes, garlic, and olive oil. Remember what we discussed earlier. Cooking tomatoes releases lycopene, and combining them with healthy fats improves absorption. A dish like this nourishes while keeping inflammation low, supports hormonal balance, and aids circulation to the pelvic region. Later in the afternoon, when your energy starts to dip, is the perfect moment for a second serving of green tea. This time, consider pairing it with a small handful of raw, soaked pumpkin seeds for a protein and mineral boost. Avoid sugary snacks or processed treats that spike blood sugar and add to inflammation. Dinner should be the lightest meal of the day. This is where many people go wrong. Consuming heavy, greasy foods late at night taxes the liver, disrupts sleep, and increases metabolic strain. Instead, opt for steamed vegetables, a lean protein like wild salmon or tofu, and a small side of quinoa or brown rice. You might even enjoy a few tablespoons of your homemade tomato sauce here too. This approach supports detoxification, provides restful sleep, and gives your prostate the quiet environment it needs to recover. Hydration, often overlooked, is equally vital. Throughout the day, drink filtered water infused with lemon or a splash of unsweetened pomegranate juice. This keeps the kidneys flushed and maintains urinary tract health without overwhelming the bladder, especially before bedtime. Now, let's return to the bonus tip promised at the very beginning, one that can boost the absorption and effectiveness of all the foods we've discussed. A simple evening infusion made with pomegranate peel and turmeric. Most people discard the pomegranate peel, not realizing it contains even higher concentrations of antioxidants than the seeds themselves. When steeped properly, the peel releases powerful polyphenols that support detoxification and help regulate immune responses. Combine it with turmeric, known for its curcumin content, and you have a warming tonic that soothes inflammation at a deep level. To prepare it, take a strip of dried pomegranate peel, about the size of your palm, add a teaspoon of ground turmeric or a few slices of fresh root, and simmer gently in 2 cups of water for 10-15 minutes. Strain and sip slowly in the evening, at least an hour after your last meal. It's calming, restorative, and supports the body's natural overnight healing process. But remember, even this powerful infusion needs to be used with care. Drinking it too close to a heavy meal can cause bloating. Adding sweeteners or boiling it too hard can destroy its active compounds. Like everything else we've explored, preparation and timing are key. This holistic routine, rooted in 4 simple foods and a few mindful habits, creates a ripple effect through the entire body. It calms the nervous system, balances hormones, reduces inflammation, and supports the prostate's natural function. And while the effects may not be instant, they are real and sustainable for those who commit with consistency. The message here isn't that healing has to be complicated. It's that healing requires attention. Attention to what you eat, when you eat it, and how you support your body's rhythms over time. And once you begin to listen to those rhythms, not just your symptoms, everything starts to change. So take this knowledge and apply it. Share it with someone who might be suffering silently. These simple choices can reshape the way we age, the way we feel, and the way we live. And if this journey has taught us anything, it's this. Real health is not found in extremes, but in the quiet power of consistency, patience, and nature's wisdom. You now have the tools. Use them wisely, and your body will respond in ways you may not have thought possible.